Welcome to the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast, where we discuss all things strange, paranormal, and unexplained.
These episodes are live recorded on Twitch and cut to fit Spotify's format. If you want to catch us live, we do our podcast once a month on Twitch. You guys got me sidetracked now thinking about food. Okay, we have a fucking...
We're not even at the Ghoulish Bites segment yet.
I was saying, we're not even there yet, guys.
Yeah, that's the Ghoulish Bites segment.
Ooh, chicken rings would be delightful, though. I'm a classy bitch. I only eat the bestest of food at 2 in the morning, okay? It's either that or Waffle House, brother. Buckle up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Waffle House. Probably Waffle House, besides the one next to us closing down.
It sucks.
Makes you wonder.
I don't want to wonder about it. I don't want to. Hold on 1 second. Let me switch sides of my notes here so I'm looking at the right screen. Yes. Fight today, OBS. He's gonna fight.
No
All right,
fighting
guys. So obviously, it's Halloween. It's spooky season. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh!
Also, let me know how the audio is, guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can hear Vulgar and the beautiful Daku okay. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I closed my notes. It's fine. I can find it.
I would say, Daku, you scared the shit out of me with that face.
No, it was just my notes again because I'm good at losing my notes. I'm a professional at losing my notes. Professional at losing notes.
Professional. So, on the spooky side, I wanted to pick something that was also Halloween related, you know? So I was looking through things, and you kind of touched on part of this as well. It's funny, of course.
Of course,
but the Headless
we
Horseman,
find alignments.
we do. Almost every
We do
single
this
time,
every episode.
baby.
Every single episode, we find a connector.
And there's actually, there's stuff about Fays, too. That's pretty funny. Always something about fucking Fays.
So in sync. So in sync.
Goddamn face.
Dude, they be all over the fucking place. But, I mean, I guess it's not really shocking because it's, you know, Gaelic stuff. The Celtic things. Celtic?
Celtic.
So, the Headless Horseman. I have a feeling that most of you, if not everyone here that's listening or watching us right now in this amazing charity event, is aware of the Headless Horseman or has heard of them or seen them or some kind of depiction of the Headless Horseman, yes?
Yes.
I say,
Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, yeah. But say that's probably going to be the most popular one if I had to guess is Sleepy Hollow. Absolutely.
And Samhain.
Samhain. Now, whether that's from movies, books, or TV shows, most of us have seen him. With his terrifying and extremely memorable headless body, upon a powerful steed carrying his head, or sometimes a pumpkin or flaming jack-o'-lantern. And I'm going to show you guys the first picture
Ooh.
of, well, I guess set of said. Yeah, you got your stereotypical.
Iconic.
Yeah, exactly. Super iconic. Super Halloween, right? You think, I mean, I know when I think about Halloween, honestly, this came up. Like, I didn't even have to look up a list. I was like, oh, the Headless Horseman. That, I think Halloween, I think the Headless Horseman, along with, like, you know, your stereotypical ghosts, vampires, things of that nature. But the Headless Horseman is very, very iconic. There's come a couple different versions of this with the head or the jack-o'-lantern. Hup. That's not for you guys yet. Don't look at that.
Too soon.
Don't look at it.
I see it. I'm watching it. I'm staring at it. I'm looking at it. I'm staring at it.
Oh, and of course, I guess I should say, don't you look. And of course, for those of you who are just listening, what I just showed was the stereotypical, like if you ever seen Sleepy Hollow, or just the Headless Horseman in general, that stereotypical man, no head, old, fashion garb on a scary horse, black horse usually with like flaming eyes, carrying their rotting head or sometimes a skull or sometimes a jack-o'-lantern. A lot of times a pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern. That's what I feel like I see them. Oh no, Daku, did we lose you?
Yeah, I'm coming back. I
Okay. Oh
don't know
no,
what happened. I'm
she's
fine.
back. Okay.
I'm
Oh,
back.
oh,
I'm sorry.
I thought the
Sorry.
spirits came.
I'm sorry. My phone.
Jesus, what did you do?
My phone tried to connect me to the Discord because I was looking at
Oh,
my Discord messages, and it's like, "Oh, you're going mobile." No, I'm not.
it's like, all right, switch, switch, switch.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, you need a switch." No, I did not do that. Yeah, sorry. I was checking my inboxes.
Oh no, I was just making sure you're still there. I was like, oh
I'm
no.
still here. Still here. I
So,
was a little stressed because I thought our internet went down when we were switching over to your stream because I couldn't do anything and I restarted
oh
my
no.
browser. But it was fine. Our
The
internet's
timing would have
we're good.
been just perfect, wouldn't it?
I would have cried. I would have just been on my phone crying.
So, so we know everyone here pretty much knows of the Headless Horseman or Sleepy Hollow. But what are the spooky roots? Where does it come from? Well, there's actually a few different origins of the Headless Horseman in different parts of the world. But why don't we start where we are now in the United States here and talk about the association with the Headless Horseman and Halloween, American Halloween. And there's a strong association with the Headless Horseman and Halloween because it's America's first widely like what would be considered now viral ghost stories. And it takes place during Halloween. And this is the legend of Sleepy Hollow, which I'm sure many, many, many of you have heard. Yes, yes, yes. So, the legend of Sleepy Hollow was written by a man named Washington Irving. And this was in 1820, so quite a while ago. And it started as a tale. Sorry, my thoughts here. Oh, in 1820, which started the tale as we mostly know it today. But he didn't invent the idea of the Headless Horseman. And this can be traced back to the Middle Ages, including stories from the Brothers Grimm, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Brothers Grimm as well. Different tales from the Brothers Grimm. Because I think a lot of our modern fairy tales are based from Brothers Grimm.
Yes.
I was about to say, that's a whole episode for you guys alone.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That and like original like Disney stories, like the Little Mermaid and stuff would be really interesting to cover. That would be.
Oh, yeah.
Is that part of the Grimm?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of the Grimm or not. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Pretty
No,
Okay,
that's
that
not.
makes-
No,
That's
that's
something
not part of the
else.
Grimm.
That's a right.
That's
Like a,
oh my god, what's his name? That it's a different thing. It's a different thing. But Snow White is a Grimm fairy tale. Little Red Riding
Mhm.
Hood. So, but Little Mermaid is not. It's oh my god.
that's
what's
right.
his
It's just
name?
a dark. I would say I can't remember I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
Is it Anderson? Hans Anderson? What's his
Hans
name?
Andersen.
Oh, look at
Hans?
that! You got it.
That Danish author.
So still
I
German,
think it's
ish.
yeah.
but so these can be traced back to like the Brothers Grimm, Dutch and Irish legends of the Doulahan, or now, hey, we're gonna have to break my legs for this one because it's probably gonna be bad. Gan Cien, a Grim Reaper character who carries his head. So there's historians like Elizabeth Bradley who believe that one of Irving's inspirations for the modern Sleepy Hollow version of the Headless Horseman was likely inspired by someone named Sir Walter Scott and his 1796 story called The Chase, which itself is a translation of a German poem called The Wild Huntsman by Gottfried Berger. The poem was written about a wicked hunter doomed to be a hunter forever, or be hunted forever by the devil and his dogs of hell for all of his sins. Original version of Peter Rabbit is a dark story. Yeah, I know that one too. Little Mermaid is not a Grimm. It was an old writer who was writing his gay lover. Oh, that's so sweet. Hopefully. mostly.
It's not really
Old.
sweet since they
Let's say
couldn't
old
be
stories.
together, and
Let's say
the Little Mermaid turned into sea foam because
I bet say that one I know. Yeah, foamy.
that makes it even
Every
sadder now.
every step was like glass for her. I'm pretty sure as well with her human feet,
Yeah.
and she turned foam. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of those are incredibly dark. Very interesting though, how our stories evolve with time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so again, they think historians believe that some of Irving's version of this story was inspired by Sir Walter Scott. They actually believe that they had been friends at one point, him and Scott, and that's how he would have met him and gotten some of the influence from him. Of course, he would have read his friend's books, especially as an author and stuff himself. Some historians also believe that Irving was inspired by an actual soldier who got attacked with a cannonball and decapitated by the cannonball in the Battle of the White Plains around Halloween, 1776. A literal headshot, the most headshot that you could ever get headshotted with. Okay, you really can't get more headshotted than a cannonball cracking you in the dome, can you? No, like you really, it doesn't get much more headshot than that, quite honestly. So, in Irving's The Legend of the Sleepy Hollow, takes place in the New York village of Sleepy Hollow in Westchester County, which is a real place. Let's take a little looky look, shall we?
Let's go.
So this is the real town of Sleepy Hollow. That the legend of Sleepy Hollow is by Washington. The cute little sign outside and has a cute little creepy doll, which I appreciate. I would want to steal it because look how cute face. All right, and then we have some really cool statues and things that they have outside, like outside or at the entrance of the town. Oh, thank you so much, Trey. I appreciate that so much. Welcome in.
Welcome in, Trey.
And this is a statue of Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman from the story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which we'll touch more obviously on Ichabod here in a second. Oh, never know when I can go to the wrong one. I like to keep you guys on your toes.
Yeah, thanks.
Little teasers for you guys. Little teasers. Little nuggets. Little nuggets. I just eat them up. So anyone listening is like, oh God, oh no, what? What are they talking about? So, in the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, there is a newcomer to the town, a lanky and superstitious schoolmaster named Ichabod Crane. And he is competing for the affections of a woman named Katrina von Tassel. And he's competing for these affections with against a man, a local man named Abraham von Brunt, known and referred to as Brom Bones, who was known as a strong horseman, who was also known as the town prankster. So he was known as very strong, really good at riding horses, but also a little mischievous little man. You know, named Little Pitch. Oh, well, are you talking about Ichabod? Because, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Ichabod's kind of a little puss, you know. And Brom Bones definitely sees that. But Brom was already known as a prankster and kind of like the town like jokester. So they're fighting for the affections of Katrina. And Ichabod was hoping that by gaining Katrina's affections, he would not only gain acceptance with like the town and her and the people, but also gain access to her family's name and wealth. Her family was very well off, had lots of money, and he wanted that. Um, Which, side note, we were just talking about this. In retellings of this story, I've seen Ichabod depicted as, in my research, as both a coward and bad guy. But in other stories, he's depicted as kind of like a cowardly guy, but his character arc is that he kind of like a little braver and becomes a hero in the end. And Brahm is the villain. I've seen it both ways. Giggity. So, Katrina, Fancy Pants Katrina here, she and her family hosted this big feast at their estate. And at this feast, Ichabod was planning on proposing to Katrina after the party. But during this party, Ichabod instead had his head filled with ghost stories by his rival, none other than Brom Bones. Which again, Ichabod was already a very like squirrely, superstitious man. And specifically Brom Bones. I just love that tone. He told him of the ghost story of the Headless Horseman who haunted the Hollow, emerging every Halloween, seeking to replace the head that he had lost upon his death. After the stories ended and the party came to an end, Ichabod attempted his proposal, and you want to guess how that went, guys? You guys want to guess how Ichabod? Did you guys think that Katrina said yes?
No, I don't think so. I think she
Oh,
was like, "You're not good enough for me. Sorry."
Poor old Ichabod was rejected, ejected, and rejected, guys.
That's just rude.
Poor Ichabod. So Ichabod leaves sad, spooked, and especially on edge after the night's stories. And he headed home on his horse. Sorry, my cat is snoring, cracking me up. So he's already on it. She's such a like loud snorer, dude. So he's already stressed and on edge, and like I said, he's already a squirrely little guy. Brom Bones has been telling him all night about the Headless Horseman, and now he has to walk home late as hell in the dark, scared off his ass, on his horse. And as he's riding, he sees no other than the Headless Horseman, and he's chasing him. So there is a pursuit happening. And after this brief chase, the Headless Horseman throws his head or pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern head, at Ichabod, knocking him from his horse and onto the ground. The next day, after the horse Ichabod was riding returned to town, alone without him, people went looking for him, but he was nowhere to be found. The only things that were found were Ichabod's hat and a smashed pumpkin. And he was never seen again.
Ooh.
Completely gone. And soon Ichabod himself joined the legend of Sleepy Hollow that frightened him so much. Now we have another little photo for you of depiction of the chase.
Pictures. Drop them.
That's poor little Ichabod.
This
That's a little teaser you guys saw. Poor little Ichabod just getting chased through the woods to his end. Now, some townspeople said, oh, it was Nar! That's right, Octavius. Oh, fucking Nar.
The hell of an arm on that Headless Horseman, though. Fucking lob that thing fucking on horseback.
Oh, thank you so much, Garg. I really appreciate Garg. I just love saying your name. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we try. We do. We put our whole asses into it. I just love it, and I love talking about stuff, especially like historical things, spooky things, creepy things, fun things. It's all just, especially with like Daku and this amazing community and all the awesome guests that we have. It really is just a joy, and I appreciate you guys so much. Stop it. Thank you, Milty. Also, Milty, while you're here, I've been waiting for you. I have the little clippy you got. I don't know if you can.
Aw, that's really cute.
There. Little clippy she got me from the Ren Fair. Beep a tootie. do great, and I love the passion. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really do try and do really good research for you. We try and offer you guys as much information as we can. We try and make it fun. And yeah, thank you for saying that, Melty. That means a lot
It
because
really
we really
does.
just, yeah, we try and make this fun and educational. And we get silly with it, and we often
Yes.
mispronounce words, but you know, it is what it is.
We bring a very human aspect to it, okay? That's what I call it. It's very human, very normal, okay? We're just bringing the humanity to it. But yeah, Milty, I love it. I love this little clip, and I wish I'm gonna put it in the front at some point when I stream too, so you can actually see it. But I had to have my little little bone hand. But yes, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the words. This podcast design is very human, very human. It's like those TikToks where the guy designs different, very human inventions to help humans.
You know what sucks about having nails? I normally
Opening
don't get my
soda
nails
pops.
done. Yeah, and Ginger just handed me my energy drink and didn't open it for me, and I've been relying on him.
Damn
opening
it,
for me.
Ginger.
Yeah, it's okay. I
You
got a
fucking
card.
want it.
I got a card. It's fine. I got the card in there. We're good.
Oh, that's what you were literally talking about, Milty. That's what it made me think of. Absolutely, yes. I love those videos. They're very funny. I love a good wacky invention. But
Yuck.
yuck, 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 yuck.
Yuck,
Yeah,
yuck,
yeah,
yuck,
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 yuck, yuck,
yuck.
yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
That is some delicious ear candy for those of you who are just listening. I hope you guys like the yuck, 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 yuck that we're doing. That's for you guys. Top tier entertainment right there.
More coming your way.
Yes, Milty. I was just literally gonna tell her she needs to. I need to get her. She needs one of those. I saw one that's shaped like a bat. It slides onto your sodas stuff and lets you pop it open.
Well, I don't normally get my nails done.
Yeah.
I don't because like
But they're
I
so
play
cute.
video games.
Yeah.
They're Scream inspired. If you guys look at it, it's like blood and
cute.
just black and white. But like they get in the way of gaming because my keyboard's pretty small. You guys can probably see my keyboard. It's a
Yeah.
it's a mini keyboard, and so my nails will
Where's
push
mine?
like the wrong keys. And so I don't usually get them done, but when we go to Disneyland, it's the only time I'll get my nails done for it. But
That makes
yeah.
sense. I wish I
do
could get my nails done more, but
the
work in a
cat
warehouse.
loves it. Yeah, the cat loves it when I scratch her with my nails.
Oh, I bet.
Like she loves it when I scratch her with my nails. She'll like pets in general, but she loves it extra with my nails. So, but they just
Vulgar,
get in
I
the
will
way.
destroy you. Better not make mac and cheese right now, brother.
Oh God!
Don't you
Oh,
dare!
God.
Don't.
I wouldn't do that.
Dear Jesus. Well, your mic cut it off, so ha 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 ha. Don't. Oh God, it's just so terrible. It sounds like a wet dog in a puddle. It's just terrible.
Dog in a fucking
It's
puddle?
just terrible.
I beg your pardon, man.
It's terrible. That's all everybody needs to know, and that's all they're gonna hear. Is that horrible splashy wet noise. I'm making fucking mac and cheese. Nobody can stop me. You know what? I don't think
I'm not
anybody
gonna
has the
stop
fucking
you,
balls.
But I do want some. See, I'm not gonna stop you. But
Everybody's
I
just making me
definitely
hungry at this
want
point.
Some. Like I really, really want some mac and cheese now.
I would love a grilled cheese. Some tomato soup.
Ooh, grilled cheese with tomato soup. Ooh, that sounds good too.
I use a white cheddar, aged white cheddar, delicious, delightful.
Oh yes, I liked
Don't
using
get her
smoked
started.
cheddar. Smoked cheddar is really good on mac and cheese too. Mm.
I agree. Okay, all right, we're gonna spiral if we keep talking about food.
We're not even in the ghoulish bites.
We're not even at the bite yet.
We're not the bites yet. Okay, the ghoulish bites is when we talk about food.
Damn it. So where were we? Oh yes. So Ichabod, whoo, disappeared. That's the noise disappearing. Whoo. That's how you know you disappeared. Whoo. So some town people thought it was a real Headless Horseman, right? Because it was already some kind of story that was ingrained within this story. In the town was the Headless Horseman coming out on Halloween. But a lot of people were pretty sure it was Brom Bones playing one of his pranks on Ichabod, because he also married Katrina shortly after Ichabod disappeared. But if that was the case, it wouldn't really be a prank as so much as like a fucking murder, because where is Ichabod? You know what I mean? Where if it was a prank, did where they looked for him, he wasn't anywhere to be found, so he would have had to have done something more than just throw him off his horse, right? Or maybe he fell off the horse and died and he hit his body, who knows? That's the real question. Was it the Headless Horseman? Or was it Brom Bones? I don't know. I think it's very likely it was Mr. Bones. But, doing a prank, trying to scare the competition, accidentally killed him. But who knows? So,
Who knows?
who knows?
Who knows?
The location where Ichabod Crane was said to be knocked off his horse and disappeared into history is Sleepy Hollow Bridge, which the original bridge is long since rotted away, but as we see here, this is what it originally looked like. This is the Headless Horseman Bridge of Sleepy Hollow. Very pretty, honestly. Really cool architecture.
I think that's lovely, but does not look safe. It does not look like
No,
that
and
passes inspection. That does not look like that gets
it
inspected.
kind of
weekly.
brings us back to Volker's topic, right? Weird wooden things near water that shouldn't be near water and made out of wood.
As a child, I've made bridges that look just like this. I would not trust this.
Not at all. Not at all. The architecture was not up to par. But pardon me. So, as you guys can see here, this is the original bridge, which has far long ago rotted away and has been replaced or like paved over. This is the sign that is marking where that bridge once was, and it reads the Headless Horseman Bridge, described by Irving in the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, formerly spanned the stream at this spot. And you guys can see that the sign here, see it on the sign here. And this is still an incredibly frequented spot by tourists. They also made a replica bridge, and that is located in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery that crosses the Pocantico River. Don't know if I'm saying that right at all. Probably not. We keep it classy here and we keep it real, human. Very human, guys. Remember, we're very human. But about a half mile, this is located about half mile upstream from the location of the original bridge. And this is the replica bridge. Cemetery. Very cute as well.
Ooh, I think that's cute. It looks like something a fairy would lure a person to cross, and if you cross, you're stuck in the world of the fae. I'm just saying,
so
it looks
gorgeous.
like that kind of bridge. It's a
this
bridge
whole area,
to the fae realm.
Honestly, all Sleepy Hollow, New York, like this area of New York is just gorgeous. It's very scenic, a lot of woods, very, very pretty. And you can definitely see with all the wood lines and all that, small town and things like that, that it's, you can see where they would get a lot of like tales and, the imagination would go wild here with all the woods. This is the cemetery entrance. And as you can see, they do make sure that there is rules up because of the replica bridge and because it's Sleepy Hollow in general. They have to remind people, hey, this is still an active cemetery. People come here to mourn and to see their loved ones. Please act like you got a brain. So, go there, act like you have a fucking brain. Don't be disrespectful. Cemetery.
Oh, that's still a cemetery they use to this day? Or
Yes.
Just,
yes. There's still parts of it that are used today, yeah. And you can see these are some of the older, more historic areas of the cemetery.
So for me,
wouldn't mind having that sign in my bedroom. Oh no.
So in the Philippines, a lot of our graveyards are actually above ground, kind of like they do in New Orleans, where they have
Yeah.
them above ground because it floods in our
Sea level,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, so I just it
Yeah,
just made me think
that's
about
a
that.
tough lesson to learn back in the day.
Oh yeah. That like during Katrina, I believe, even then, there was caskets floating and almost any really hurricane or
Oh,
anything, especially in places where they're not used to floods. Like in Appalachia with the last hurricanes that happened, a lot of cemeteries got washed out, a lot of coffins, a lot of bodies disturbed. So you can definitely see the use of having bodies put in more of, what are those called? More, not more. What am I thinking of? What was the
Mausoleum.
mausoleum? Thank you, mausoleum
mausoleum.
type of things. So, I want to say, I don't know if it's New Orleans. There's somewhere where they do that, and after so long, they cremate you and add you to the mausoleum in a different spot so that spot can be used for either other family if it's your family thing or someone else. Like after so many years, because there's just not enough space for everybody, which makes sense. If you already knew about that ahead of time, I see where that's like, as long as they
Yeah.
tell you up front, they're gonna
Yeah,
pull you out one
I was
day.
say, if they're gonna pull me out, they need to put me in one of those cannons to shoot t-shirts, so I can really fucking make a mess.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind. Um, so as I said before, the U.S. isn't the only place where you can find tales like the Headless Horseman. Um, you can find them in places like Germany, German folklore. Uh, here's the tale that comes from the Brothers Grimm, and it's believed to be one of the sources of Washington Irving's inspirations for the Legend of Hollow. Now, keep in mind these aren't all like exactly the same. They're what may have inspired him. They're cousins of the Headless Horseman esque uh, stories and tales and such. But one of the Grimm tales is called the Eternal Hunt, or Ewiger. Ewiger. I can't pronounce it. Jaeger. I know Parvich Jaeger. Okay, it's Ewiger.
Mr. Jägermeister
Mr.
himself.
Jaeger. Ewiger.
The Wild Hunt.
Yeah. No, this one is the Eternal Hunt.
Eternal Hunt.
There is the
Isn't
Wild
that
Hunt.
in Elder
There is one
Scrolls?
called the Wild Hunt though, but they're two different ones. What'd you say, babe?
I said, isn't that in Elder Scrolls?
I was about to say I
Ugh.
I looked it up and it says Elder Scrolls.
Ugh, immediately.
And then
That's
followed
awesome.
by The Witcher. Maybe I need to do Eternal Hunt.
So, one of the Grimm tales, the Eternal Hunt, tells of a tale of Count Eberhard, who encounters a spirit while hunting for sport. So he's hunting because he likes it, not because he has to or he needs to. He is very well off. He's a count, right? Just loves hunting. He loves killing animals. So the count dismounts his steed and goes up to the spirit and asks the spirit if he intends to do him harm. Spirit informs the count that no, he's not there to do him harm, that he had once been a human like himself once, actually a lord. Not just a human, but also a very well-off lord. Who also loved hunting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He was Elmer Fudge. Fudge. What's that guy's name? Fudge. Is it Fudge?
Let's go. Elmer Fudge. Oh, that's his middle name. Last name Packer. Let's go, babe.
Oh, for charity, Fud. You know what? I'm not up on my
You listen here,
old
Fud.
cartoons. Okay, he's Fudge now. Okay,
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting booty.
shut up.
Ooh.
You shut up, Jesus. So anyone just listening to this is just going to be so very perplexed. You really got to see it with your own eyes. Okay, so So he was like, I was also a human once. I was a lord and I loved hunting. I enjoyed it so much, actually, that I begged God to let me hunt forever until Judgment Day. And what do we think? Do we think that's a good idea, guys? Do we think it's a good idea to beg God to let you hunt until eternally, forever and ever and ever until the world burns? We think that's a good idea? No, it's not.
Sounds like a blast.
No, no. Oh, you really got to be careful what you wish for, right? Isn't that what we say? Isn't that the saying? Careful what you wish for, because he should have. So God heard this and he said, "Oh hell yeah, brother!" Boom. And now the hunter, this lord, hunts the same deer for all of eternity. And upon hearing the spirit's story, the count requested to see the spirit's face. He wanted to see if he could identify which lord he was, because he still hadn't told him which lord from which house he was, or what his name was. Hold on, we have a train coming, guys. You guys like trains?
Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo.
And we're back. Okay, so they've been especially loud today, too. My God. Every time, I swear to God, every time they're like, Miso's on, go, go, get the fucking trains out. Every
It's
time.
okay. You get
Every
trains, I
time.
get dogs choosing to bark. So you know, typical. It's typical. You get the
when
trains, I
Jimmy-
get the dogs.
To say before our boy Jimmy passed, dude, we had both. We would have Jimmy barking with his beagle ass bark, and then choo choo. And I'm like, okay, yep. And then he would get her going, and it would just be two beagles losing their minds, and a train going.
It's just
Two
two
beagles.
It's just two beagles.
Doing beagle things. I swear though, we barely hear them all day. Maybe I just don't notice them, but we barely hear them all day. And all of a sudden I'm streaming and they're like, get out the fucking trains. Go, 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 guys. Go. Honk your horns 37 times. Go. Go. In a row. In a row. So, anyway, he wanted to see this spirit's face because he wanted to see if he could identify who it was, who the Lord was. And the spirit revealed his face, and when he did, it was said to be hardly the size of like a fist, like a little fist. It was withered like a turnip. Turnips again. But it was withered like a little turnip and wrinkled like a mushroom. Hot. Fear-stricken by this encounter, the count flees and never hunts again.
What?
The bloopers are gonna be so crazy. That's the glory of doing the podcast live. Is you guys get to see all these delicious little boo-boos. Oh, the
And
Kushi.
I
Oh
make
my
it
God.
worse. I make it worse by posting it on TikTok on purpose.
I love it. It's beautiful. It's
I
very
post it on
human.
TikTok
We already
on
talked
purpose.
about this. It is very human. Okay? Damn it.
Technical issues, mispronunciation
very
of
human.
words, inappropriate comments, rants when it comes a little bit more sexual. Uh-oh.
Oh, what's happening?
Our camera's disappeared. Oh, our camera's back.
Is it back?
Yep.
Hey, whoa, hey. I was looking at the pronunciation, make sure I'm about to say this right, so I guess it decided it didn't like that.
It's okay. I fucked up. I accidentally said the wrong thing for Samhain, so I was doing so good until the bonus segment, and Mike, dang it.
Hey, we've heard that people pronounce it as either one, so you know what? I'm taking it as a win.
They actually pronounced it incorrectly in Sabrina.
Oh, no shit, which is pretty funny.
Sabrina?
Which one?
I believe.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
The Chilling Adventures. I believe they pronounced that one wrong, and they also pronounce Baeltina, incorrectly as well. I think they mentioned Beltane and Samhain in the show.
So I'm just catching up with chat here. Okay. 2024, you're not allowed to say things correctly. We get rowdy when we talking coochie and champ. That's right.
Oh God.
I'll never say right. It's coochie for life, baby. I
We'll
mentioned
never
this is
live
a
that
wild
one
episode.
down. Oh,
Never. You
God.
never live coochie down. Everybody knows that. You only live coochie up.
There's the phallic mushrooms that we mentioned at one point,
Love
and
me a phallic mushroom.
and the galaxy milk.
The galaxy milk is just fucking awesome.
That is
Who would have
amazing.
who knew the Milky Way came from that?
From
By
a
the way,
cow's
shameless plug of our Spotify. Which I have a rotating thing in here. I don't know if I have a command yet. I need to soon. I have a thing in there. But anyway, so we just talked about the German version. Let's talk about the Irish version.
Ooh.
The Doulahan. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Kate. Doulahan. But it's also an alternative word for a hobgoblin, which is a wicked, malicious fairy. So here we go again. Round and round we go with the fays.
Goddamn fays.
The fucking fae, man. They will be coming for you.
We do love the Fae. The Fae pops up quite frequently in our stories.
They are frequent flyers, the fays. They just be mischievous little bastards, and there's all kinds of fae too. It's so many different types. It's very interesting. But hide your kids, hide your wife. The fae will fucking take them, and that is not a joke. They will. They love children and wives. We talked
Like
about
the
that before
duende.
too.
Yeah, like the duende that would lure a lady by leaving her presents of flowers. and then
Duendes, changelings, you fucking name it, dude.
Oh yeah, the Fae like to fuck with humans.
They love it. They come in all kinds of fun little varieties. So,
Hide
the
your husbands.
Doulahan, hide them all. Hide everybody. Just don't
Hide
get near
all
them.
of the husbands.
Stay away from the fairy circles. Stay away.
But they're
Mind
so
your
welcoming
business.
and pretty.
Don't steal their shit. Don't drink
But
their milk.
But I was told if I sat in the middle of a fairy ring and made a wish, it will come true.
Well, then obviously you got 50-50 chances, right? Either you're an eternal slave and or baby making machine, or you get your wish granted.
There's no monkey
No
ball
downside.
thing.
But seriously,
Yeah,
don't step in the middle of a fairy ring. Sorry, don't
do it.
that. Please
Don't
don't
do
do
that.
it. Okay.
Don't
I'm
do
being
it.
serious.
Don't do it. So
I joke and then I'm not.
look at us. If you can't look at us, hear us. No.
The Doulahan.
So the Doulahan is depicted in a few ways. One is either a headless man without a head or carrying his own head, as we've seen in the modern renditions, which you could see where he would definitely get the inspiration here. Or under his arm, riding on a fierce black horse, as he does. The Doulahan or Doulahan, I don't know which way it's pronounced, but Doulahan is what I'm going with because it just rolls off the tongue.
Kate, Kate?
Is it Han or Han?
Is it Han or Han?
He is
Watch it,
Canadian Jesus.
We're both butchering it.
Well, I listened to a little clip thing and it says Han, but I don't know if that's just how like the Google AI does it, That's true. You are wearing your Jesus outfit in your little Jesus Canadian PNG.
I am.
So, the Doulahan is he's on a horse. There we go. There we are. He's on a fierce black horse, and his head is described as can be a mouthful of razor sharp teeth that forms a grin reaching the sides of his head, like ear to ear, with massive eyes that are constantly darting back and forth like flies, and flesh that has acquired the smell and color and consistency of moldy cheese. Or also described as a skull with flaming and searing eyes. Go ahead and take a little peeky peek of that one.
Send it our way.
So here we go. We got some of these. Doulahan. Han. Doulahan. There you guys
Dulahan.
go. Dullahan. So this is the Dullahan. See the different varieties of him with his uh spine whip, fierce horse, and his rotting head or his skull head. Which,
Is that a bunch of spines, or is that just like one really tall dude they ripped that
so
out of?
it's a really, I guess he's just a tall ass dude. 'Cause it just says a spine. It didn't say, many spines, but it also looks like the pelvis. So he just ripped it from the pelvis up.
What is his whip made out of?
Pelvis and spine.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Pelvis
Because
and spine.
because
You can kind of see it a little better here.
because with the manananggal, like ways to prevent it is the stingray's tail. So they like if you hit it with the stingray's tail, something like that's cray cray. Oh my god.
So
That's
if he
a
comes
gross.
after you, you just gotta piss on him.
Stop it. What does a stingray tail have to do with piss? That's a jellyfish sting, and it does not how that works. None of that is right.
Man, somebody would be really mad at me if I was at the beach. Like, man, I got you. I just start
Yeah,
fucking
you start
pissing all
pissing
over.
on them for a stingray
I'm
sting.
professional. Stay on the ground.
Doesn't even work for
Look me in the fucking
jellyfish.
eyes when I'm shaving you. Look at me in the eye.
Jesus is on some shit today. You guys are gonna have to pardon that guy.
Well, I'm sorry. It's past my bedtime. I'm hyped.
Ooh.
Yes, this is the Dulan.
I love
Transitioning back from that. For charity, guys. Don't forget this is for charity.
Yep,
Okay?
for the boobies.
For the boobies.
For the
Okay.
boobies.
God damn it. Oh. Transitioning back. The Dullahan. That really threw me through a loop. Jesus really knows how to deter my brain.
Jesus saves.
Jesus confuses the shit out of me. Gets me all kefurgled. It's a fun word, kefurgled.
Kate says, what's really going to mess you up is the Scottish call it Dullahan.
Dullahan. That's
Dullahan.
probably, I think that's the pronunciation I was hearing. I gotta hick accent, guys. Bear with me.
I appreciate your accent.
I'm a human with hick human. I'm just a little hick, all right? So Dullahan is also said to appear as a headless coachman who carries his own head with a completely silent, shadowy coach. In some stories, this headless coachman, the coach itself, is made out of human bones.
Ooh.
The headless coachman is said to foreshadow doom and death and will appear at the doorstep of a person who is approaching death. So if you're about to die and you see a bone coach pull up silently with a man with no head and or holding his head, got some bad news for you guys. Got depictions of him here as a coachman. So got his handy dandy little whip and his strong
his whip.
Strong steed.
Whip.
Whip.
His whip.
Whip him good. You can see in this depiction there's the hands, the back of the dead.
I like that.
Oh, don't look at that. Don't look at it.
I stopped looking.
I forgot to put the numbers on there.
Looking.
She did it again.
I like to be a little tease. What can I say? I like to tease a little bit.
Oh, never mind.
Yep, shut up, Jesus. You shut your mouth.
I'll play nice.
Yes, it's been such a PG stream already with the piss and
right,
all the things.
Oh, it would have went way off right.
No, it could have. You know what? We're counting our blessings today. So, in some depictions and some stories, the Dullahan is said to use his decapitated head like this, and it would scan the areas, right? It would hold its head up and scanning areas in the countryside for those about to die. Dullahan allegedly also has a whip, which we've seen, made of human spine that he uses to lash his horse, or said to use it in an attempt to destroy the eyes of those who witness him. He lash them in the eye. But Super fun. Love that for you. Love getting whipped in the eye with a human spine. Super sanitary too. Can't imagine
Yep.
anything wrong with that.
I was gonna say super hot until you said I.
Right in the eyes. It was almost sexy and then it wasn't. So, we also have a version in India. Now, this one didn't have as much information and it didn't have any photos,
Ooh.
unfortunately, but it does differ a lot in the sense of the horseman's attitude, I guess, of what I would say. So, in India's version of the Headless Horseman, I'm gonna butcher it. Buckle up, guys. Are you ready for butchering? Because
go.
it's coming. So, the Jinjar,
Fuck it. I hope that's how it's said.
it's JHINJHAR, one word. Jinjar. Okay. So,
Those goddamn gingers.
but the Jinjar is regarded as a heroic, well meaning spirit. This legend is centered heavily in India's biggest state, Rajasthan. Probably butchered. In most stories, he was a prince who lost his head defending a village. Others say he was a cavalry rider defending his prince. Either way, he is said to result from a wrongful death. This spirit is said to protect innocent people and will fight both mounted on horseback and unmounted, unlike a lot of the other versions we've heard. And I couldn't find any good pictures of that. But again, very different too. This one's heroic, saves people, he protects people, died as a hero, not so much vengeful, right? So I like that it's a little different, but you can definitely still see the same influence, same headless archetype, that all that jazz. So media, we're rounding towards the end, guys, and we're going to discuss some of it in media now. So we've already spoken about some books and stories featuring the Headless Horseman, and similar Headless Horseman-like legends. And I'm sure you're all aware of that he's been featured in a lot of different media, lots of different media. So we're not going to cover every single one, but we're going to stick to the U.S. version and we're going to do some honorable mentions. So the most well-known version here in the U.S., of course, is Washington Irving's version, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and different variations of his story, like the 1911 super old short movie called Sleepy Hollow, which is the
Yes.
oldest film depiction I could find of Sleepy Hollow of the Headless Horseman. I got a little teaser that you guys saw. This is the only thing I could find from that. And of course, as literally Britt just said, because one brain cell, see Jinjar, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how they pronounce. I don't know if it's like a different like a word sound to it, but that's just how I'm pronouncing it. Jinjar. So and like Britt said, Johnny Depp, the version with Johnny Depp, which I'm pretty sure everyone in the U.S. has either heard of or seen, and
It's
it's
the
probably
Tim
one of the most
Burton version, right?
yeah the most popular version, yeah, that I could probably think off the top of my head. It's the Tim Burton 1999 film Sleepy Hollow with Christopher Walken, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, and many other very famous celebrities. U.S. Gengar, you better shut your mouth, Jesus.
I literally didn't say anything.
You're typing it. See, Christopher Walken here.
The listeners in the future don't know that, so you're fucking lying.
He's typing it, listeners. He's typing it. He said, I'm pretty sure it's Gengar. Now they know. Jesus.
Gengar.
And for those of you just listening, I'm just showing photos of the cover art. The first one's cover art from the Sleepy Hollow movie, Tim Burton's 1999 film. And the second photo is of Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman in that, which is a very unsettling look for him. Very, very off-putting. Those teeth are sharp and very scary, creepy eyes. So we also have this Scooby-Doo, which of course I had to do Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo, one of my favorite things ever. There's the Scooby-Doo version, The Headless Horseman of Halloween from 1996, showing its relevance even through children's media. And I knew I grew up watching this one, for sure. Jinkies.
Jinkies.
I'm sure many
Don't,
of you.
don't get me started.
Zoinks, zoinks all over the place.
Zoinks.
Zoinks!
Oh.
Like Scoob, we gotta get out of here.
He's been practicing. We were gonna do closet cosplays, but we just had the most terrible fucking luck at Goodwill.
It's okay.
But oh hi, Lord Taco. Nice to see you. His Scooby snack.
They say eyebrow waggles all the way. I want a Scooby snack. The drink specifically.
The Scooby snack. Sticky.
It's
Got
Oh.
purple hairs and then
Scooby snack does not have that. Wait,
talking
what Scooby
about the
snack are we talking
delicious
about?
green kind.
Oh.
Hmm.
I'm talking about the
That's
alcoholic
right.
drink. I'm talking about the alcoholic
Oh,
drink.
I didn't know there was a Scooby snack alcoholic drink.
Oh, it's my favorite. Oh my god. But are you allergic to pineapple?
No, I
Oh,
love pineapple. Delightful.
Scooby snack is you should look it up, and if you get a chance to order at a bar, try it. It's delicious. It's my favorite drink. One of my favorite drinks.
I would have to get a mocktail version, but I would definitely try.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Let's see here. Oh, so speaking of the relevance of the Headless Horseman and Sleepy Hollow in children's media, we have the Disney movie, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad from 1949, which, holy shit, that's forever ago. We have little looks at this here. Of course, is the Disney movie. Yes. Oh, nope, around it. Okay, that's the last picture.
Yes,
Woo!
yes.
it says a Disney movie. Be careful throwing it up there.
Yeah, they're gonna come for me, bro.
See our dicks
I don't
off.
know. They're not Nintendo, so they're not gonna break my leg.
I actually didn't go for the ride this time when we visited last week or the week before that. I didn't go to the ride this time around. It's in Babyland and it gets too crowded and my anxiety gets triggered, so I just leave.
Oh, I was gonna
avoid it as
say
much as possible.
there is a lot of references and like you said, like a ride or something at Disney World dedicated to the Sleepy Hollow, to the adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And the Headless Horseman is featured a lot in Disney movies, just like randomly too. And some last end of the story, rapid fire honorable mentions here is he appears in the Shrek movies as the executioner for the prince, I believe in 1 and 2. He also appeared in The Little House on the Prairie, which I thought was interesting. Most random, right? Super random.
What? Definitely. My mom used to watch the shit out of that.
Get out of some Little Prairie. Oh yeah, Little Prairie. He also appears in Charmed, which I'm a big fan of Charmed.
I love Charmed.
and
Original and the new one. I also
have
like
not
the
seen
new
the new
one.
one.
The new one I actually approve.
And then he also, of course, he appears in video games. Specifically, some mentions are of in World of Warcraft and Maple Story. And guys, boy howdy, that is the Headless Horseman. I just thought it was
my.
such a delightful little Halloween tale. Very, very centered literally in Halloween, all about Halloween. And I thought it was really cool how so many different cultures influenced what we have and know here in America as, you know, from as Sleepy Hollow.
Another honorable mention. In California Adventure, in Disney California Adventure, during Halloween time, they actually have the Headless Horseman on display in the middle of the courtyard of the entrance of California Adventure. So yeah, there's a
That's
Headless
awesome.
Horseman statue there too.
I mean, it was a good story, but nothing to lose your head over. Yeah.
Yick.
But yes, does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Headless Horseman? My goodness. Oh, what did you guys think? You guys think about the Headless Horseman when you think about Halloween? Let us know.
I do. I do.
I definitely do. Funny enough, that's one of the bosses during the World of Warcraft event. So
That's what I just
every,
said. He appears
every
in
year I
Halloween.
fight him.
Yep.
Wait, my friend Juvenate was doing a small raid. Maybe that's what the raid was earlier that they were doing on WoW.
Oh, I wish it was
Oh,
a
that's
freaking
cool,
rainbow.
Garg. Universal Studios process of opening the first Hollywood themed hotel and park in the UK. Hell yeah. I actually want to go there one year for their Halloween event because I really like haunted houses and I don't really ride rides, so we were thinking about going there. I think it'd be really cool to check out Mario World and Harry Potter World and just all the different haunted houses.
Yeah, actually, they're updating California Adventure even more. They're adding more to the park. I think in 2025, 2026, they're gonna have like 4 specific areas that are themed in California Adventure and in California Universal, because the ones in California is sorely lacking versus the one in Florida, like sorely lacking. Very disappointing.
I say I heard there's quite a bit of differences between that and there's also like one of the Disney's is better than one Disney. The one in Japan's supposed to be really good. Hi, Steven. How are you?
Even the shark.
Thank
What's
you
up?
so much for popping in. And again, guys, since we're at the end of my little chapter here before we start Ghoulish Bites and we kind of talk about stuff, which I actually had something I wanted to ask Doku during Ghoulish Bites for sure. Um, but let's talk some more about the amazing event that we're having here. That is the Keep Abreast Foundation. They are an amazing group of people using art and education to raise awareness for the prevention and treatment and just information for breast cancer. They do amazing art collectives where they do a cast of survivors' breasts. Um, and they display it with their stories. And those people, I believe, also get to paint or maybe have artists come in and paint their busts and put them on display. Which I wish I would. Yet last year we grabbed a slideshow. I wish I would have grabbed it again.
Yeah,
Of the
I put the
artworks.
slideshow last year of the different artworks.
Such
but
a
yeah.
cool cause. And today we had an interview. Please go check out Britters Bears bod if you missed
Yeah,
it.
I got
It's
you, baby.
it's only about like a half an hour long and it's so good. It was Janie or not Janie, Shani, pardon me. Shani from one of the founders of Keep Abreast, and she was so wonderful. Britter did a amazing job interviewing her, and she was just so kind and very informative. Her answers were so good and well thought out and meaningful. And this is such an amazing cause. Again, like we said at the beginning of or the end of her section, the beginning of my section, cancer has touched everybody that I know. Almost everybody I know for sure. Everybody here in this chat right now, in Discord, that you see has been touched by cancer. I'm sure most of you have been touched by cancer. So any cause that we can get behind to help those in need or help raise education and just help prevent future loss. So, it just means a lot that everybody's been here and how much work the Black Collar and every creator in this has put into it is just beautiful. And I just love you all so much. It's just so great. And I really appreciate you guys being here for the podcast too.
Yeah.
The podcast means a
year.
lot. Yes, and it's been a whole year. And this is
13
I think the
episodes.
first charity we did for the podcast, if I remember
We
correctly.
prepared the podcast. We did the
We
pilot
did
episode
yep.
a week or 2 weeks before the actual
Or-
charity event as our pilot because we wanted to see the times for it. And then our first official episode was for Keep Abreast Foundation. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the Black Collar it's such an amazing group to be a part of. I fucking love you guys. I love these causes that we get to be a part of. And I love just being able to, yep. I can't show mine because it's on my leg and I don't want to accidentally flash anybody, but I got my skirt on. But yeah, we got branded. We got our brands now. We're officially part of that group.
Branded.
It's not a cult.
Not a cult. It's just
It's not a
group, huh?
cult.
We don't wear the same clothes. It's not a cult. But I'll tell you what though, they are an amazing fucking group, and we are so very blessed to be a part of it. And I just love you guys very much. I'll just sit here and circle jerk all day about it, but I really do appreciate you guys joining us for this. And we're still going on after this. We still got about an hour here.
Yeah,
And
we
we're
got
gonna
the
do Ghoulish Bites, and then I even have some little fun things to get to, that I had just in case we had some run over time that we might get to, and that'll be pretty funny if we do too. So,
That's
if anyone
facts,
has any
Kate.
questions,
See, not a cult. Kate says we
not
don't
a
live in the
cult.
same compound, so we're not a
That's
cult.
right,
See, not
not
a
a
cult.
cult.
Not a cult, you guys.
Well, but yes, thank you guys so much for being here. So, if without further ado, do you want to do our outro and get to Ghoulish Bites, or do we do? I always forget if we do the
We
outro
usually
after.
do it. We do it at the very end. So the
Okay.
Ghoulish Bites, yeah, we do it at the end. So the Ghoulish Bites is a little segment that we do after our episode topics, where we discuss things that are relating to our topics, answer some of the questions that you guys might have had, or if we had questions that we couldn't get answered during the person's presentation, we ask it, and it's literally just because we can't get enough of each other and we like to talk about this shit all the
So
time.
much.
So, to start, Mr. Vulgar, what is your current favorite snack?
Like candy bar or just snack in general?
Snack
in
in
general.
general.
Oh, it's a tough one. Like an overall thing. I've been really grooving on these little peanut butter stick things that the inside's kind of like a Reese almost.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's
they're
just
little Debbie like butter
yeah,
sticks. Do
I
they have a
haven't.
wafer in them?
those are pretty bomb. But I mean, like all time though. What's that white chocolate one I get?
You
Zero
like
bar.
the Zero Bar?
Zero bar is hands down my favorite candy bar
What is a
snack in
Love
zero
the
general.
Zero
bar?
Bar.
It is a white chocolate filled with like
It's
nougat
like a Three
almost.
Musketeer,
Like
but white chocolate.
kind of that, only a
Oh,
little thicker
Little
with a
that
white
sounds
chocolate.
yummy.
Yeah, he
Thick.
likes them thick.
Oh, thick. Oh. But no, when I was younger, I always thought that it was a mint flavor, and my dad would eat it all the time because the packaging has a very minty look to it. And he never corrected me because he didn't want to fucking share it. But then once I figured it out, it was on.
Parents, you're allergic to sugar. Oh, this is mint. You don't want that. See, that wouldn't have worked on me because I like mint chocolate. I eat it. Num
That sounds so good. So let's get into the ghoulish bites. So one of my friends actually, because I was talking about this podcast and I was talking about like what we wanted to do for the ghoulish bites, and he actually suggested that I cover number 13 since this is our 13th episode. And so, yeah, number 13 is often seen as like a bad luck or something like that. It's considered a very unlucky number. And there's even some people that have tridecaphobia or triskaidekaphobia, which are the people that have an intense fear of the number 13 and anything relating to 13, and even avoid things that have 13. So they'll avoid, like, if there's 13 bushes in a specific area, they won't go there. If there's a 13th, like 13 floors, they won't do it. If there's a 13 in the number, they won't do it. Like, there's actually people that have a fear of the number 13. And so, yeah, it's an actual, like, there's people that believe it's unlucky, but there's actual
Well, I know there's buildings
phobia.
that will get rid of the 13th floor, or they'll skip the 13th floor and go to 14. Very
So
interesting.
I worked in the hotel industry for a while, and I've worked at like quite a few hotels and visited a few hotels, and a lot of them go to second floor, then it goes or to 12th floor to 14th floor. Like 13th floor does not exist.
Doesn't exist, yeah.
And then in some of the rooms, like the number 13 room is usually a storage closet or something where they store things, so that they have like room 12 and 11 and room 14 and 15, but 13 is like usually some kind of storage place or something like that, which would be considered number
Right.
13.
I also think it's really funny because I've told you this, but I was born November 13th, 1992, which if you go and look was almost a
Friday
full
the
moon, a
13th.
waning gibbous, and it was a Friday the 13th. And
Yep.
my biological grandmother was always like, "Oh, that's why you're the devil." And I'm like, "Hey, you're not wrong." But it's very funny. I even have a birthday tattoo, with black cat, of course, 13 on
Aw.
it
Aw.
because I
I
love
love
the
how
number 13.
I love how like I have both those things as topics today. Black cats and the number 13.
That's me, baby.
Oh my god, this makes me love you even more. So, why did the number 13 become known as an unlucky number? So there's a couple interesting things about it. So one of them actually is rooted in Christianity, and um, Judas Iscariot, who was the betrayer of Jesus Christ, was actually
Mm-hmm.
the 13th person to sit onto the table during the Last Supper. And then in Norse mythology, Loki was the god of mischief and was the 13th guest to arrive at the dinner of the gods. And that was the dinner that he
Oh,
tricked Odin's son to kill another. So it goes as far back as that, but I just thought it was kind of crazy because I'm like, why is 13? Like 7 and 13 are
thank you,
numbers that
Britt.
I often see as that. But yeah, the 13, and I did not know that it was rooted as far back as Norse mythology and Christianity. So I think that that's really crazy. So in celebration of our 13th episode, I figured I'd give you guys some really cute tidbits
13,
about the number
13.
13. And
I
I
love that.
learned there's an actual phobia for people that are afraid of the number
Yeah.
13. So that's
Oh,
crazy.
Britt, thank you so much. Britt just put the app information link in chat. I have pinned it. So
Thank you.
please go check out the app. Get the app for the Keep Abreast Foundation. They said it's something that they really working really hard on. It's doing really well. It's really starting to pick up and it's going to be super informative and helpful for you guys. So please go check it out.
7 is a problem because at 8, 9, gotcha.
Get out. Get out.
God damn it!
Yeah, well, wow. Way to go, Jesus. Father, damn it.
I mentioned 13 and Jesus Christ is having a conniption right now. Jesus
I'm
Christ,
gonna
calm
say,
down. Jesus
this
vulgar
is why
Christ,
the
chill.
family's falling apart. You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
And then actually lately, I will have to say that I haven't been feeling that great, you guys, and like I haven't really had anything that I've really been crazy snacking. I have been craving like Snickers bars a lot. Like I really want a Snickers chocolate bar, or I like to get toffee nuts. I don't know if you guys know what toffee nuts are, but they're like
Mm-hmm.
actual peanuts that are coated in toffee. So it's kind of like eating a peanut brittle, but it's just like a singular nut. I have been really, really enjoying those. I need to buy
Nut.
more cucumbers, but I was on vacation, so I didn't want to buy cucumbers, so it would go bad. So I haven't had any cucumbers in the house. So I need to order more cucumbers so I
I
can
want to
have my
try
cucumber
that
snack.
cucumber shit that I've been seeing all over the TikToks. Like a bunch of different sauce. Cucumbers just shaked up with like chili oil. It just looks really delightful. I would fuck with it. Got like fish sauce and like just other stuff in it.
Ooh,
Delightful.
I would eat that. Oh my god.
MSG and some
Oh, I want it.
chili
I
oil.
want.
If you looked, I think you would love it. It looks really good.
It's something that's probably right down my alley. Not gonna lie, I love me my I love like food that incorporates fish sauce. I'm a salty girl more than a sweet girl,
Hmm.
so I like salty snacks for sure.
Yeah, I
And
love
then
lamp.
Shut the
and another thing, in Halloween tradition, there is a particular candy that became a staple of Halloween, and it is the candy corn.
I love candy corn so fucking much. So fucking much.
Actually,
So
it's
fucking much.
interesting because people either love candy corn or hate candy corn. Like I've never met anyone that's in between. Like for me, I love candy corns, but for me, I want to have candy corn at least during the Halloween season. I want candy corn, but
They're not any.
I can only eat like a handful before I'm like, okay, I'm done.
They're
I'm done.
dangerous. Well, they're like I'm not like allergic to sugar, but I have the sugar, the insulin resistance or whatever. So like I've been trying to stay away from them because I was looking at the
Oh
macros and they
no.
are literally just sugar. They're just sugar. I just want the little pumpkin so bad in my mouth. I love the little pumpkin
Oh,
ones
the little
so much.
pumpkins are so
They're so
good.
good.
Oh.
The texture is so nice.
This conversation infuriates me.
He hates
So
candy corn. It's
Garg
so good.
actually said that Snickers were originally called marathon bars in the UK.
Oh
Interesting.
no, Garg! They don't have candy corn in the UK. You are missing out.
What? Yeah, it is a very American thing.
Yeah,
So
it's probably because
It's
it's made
just
of pure
clumps of
fucking
sugar.
sugar. And the
Just
UK's
clumps of
like, hey,
delicious
we probably should
sugar.
feed this to our people.
yeah, it's a definitely
Delightful.
American thing. Actually, candy corn is over 100 years old. It was first made in the 1880s by a man named George Renninger, and he was a Wanderley Candy employee. And so he made candy corns. And do you know why candy corns have the specific look to them? The color, the color combination that it has.
I do not.
So it was actually designed to look like a kernel of corn, and that's why it's called candy corn. Is it's supposed to look like if you look at a kernel
Yeah,
of corn, you'll see that the root of the corn is white, which is the one that goes into the husk, and then it's got the orange in the inside in between them, and then it's got the yellow. So if you put candy corns together in a like circular motion side to each other, it's supposed to look like the side of corn. So it was specifically designed to look like candy, like to look like corn kernels, and that's what was called candy corn. And
which makes sense. Yeah. Now that you
mhm.
mention it, that does check out.
Yes, so if you put them together and try and make like a circular thing with the points pointing in the middle,
Aw,
it looks like corn in the cob, and that's why it was called candy corns.
I would love
And
a cob of candy corn. Sink my
and
teeth right into that.
October 30th is known as National Candy Corn Day. So yeah, October 30th is like the day that the candy, like it's the day for candy corn. And the Golitz Company, which is now known as the Jelly Belly Company,
Mm,
started producing
Jelly
candy
bellies.
corn not long after that, and they still continue to produce it to this day. But now, it's no longer just a Halloween candy tradition. They have made candy corn for Valentine's Day. They have candy corn for Thanksgiving, which is the brown,
I've
red
not tried
and
those ones.
white ones, and then they also have the Christmas ones, which are the Christmas colors, of course, and they even have them for Easter. So candy corns have definitely grown a lot. But like I said, it's one of those things that people either really love candy corn or
They hate it.
absolutely cannot stand candy corn.
No
And
smoking shield. You're fucking champion.
So, so I like they did a great job to make it look like corn kernels, right? But I
yeah.
want to know when they're sitting there like, all right, we need to make something that everybody's gonna fucking love. It's gonna be all fucking sugar. It's gonna look like fucking corn kernels.
Oh,
Hear me
thank you
out.
so much, Roddy
Kids
Mama.
fucking when they're like, hey, I want a fucking sweet snack, I think corn.
I appreciate
I
it so much,
mean,
Roddy.
if you think about it, like corn, there is such a thing as sweet corn. But I don't understand why corn was a thing. But yeah, he made candy corn, and it's pretty much just the recipe for marshmallows, but like hardened, you know.
Right, yeah, literally like sugar.
Straight up sugar. But like I said, there's people that love them, there's people that hate them. Um, but yeah,
I see.
I like to get the candy corns, and like I said, I eat a little bit of it in the beginning of like October. I just have to have like a handful, and then after that, I'm over them. So I always feel like a bag is wasted on me because like
See, I could eat.
I
I
don't
would
eat the
crush a
entire
bag.
bag.
I would
I
crush
can't,
a bag.
like It gets me
Keep 'em away
right
from me.
here. It literally gets me right here in the back of my throat. It literally just like it hurts the back of my throat.
Dude, candy corn
I
hate
had
to
a
see my
nickel.
ass coming. I'll fuck them up. I crush fucking back. I'll crush
Oh,
them.
Britter's Bear. That is our girl. She also loves candy corn like
Mhm.
we do.
She knows what's good. Last Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, my retailer sold white chocolate and strawberry flavored cheese. I feel like that might be delightful or terrible. I
That
just don't
sounds
know.
really good,
Because
actually. I
cheese
like
and
that.
savory with sweet is like really good. I love
Okay,
a good baked brie with jam.
like for me, I also like in the Philippines, I don't know if you know, but we have an ice cream that has corn and cheese. So it's like this vanilla like ice cream with some like I can't remember what the flavor is, but it's got pieces of corn and pieces of cheese in it, and it what
Interesting.
and growing up it was one of my favorite ice creams. Like I like that, and I liked ube ice cream. Those were my two ice creams, was the cheese and corn ice cream or the ube ice cream.
The-
That's a string of fucking words that you don't expect to ever hear in your life.
yeah. Well,
But it is
see, in my
so
brain,
good.
I say in my American brain, I'm like, oh, that's weird, but it's really not because corn it's sweet a lot. It's in a lot of pastas to make it sweeter, and cheese is in a lot of sweet stuff just because they're good. So I bet it would be really delightful. Yeah, I would fuck with that.
Oh yeah, it was one of my favorite snacks growing up. Was
Speaking
like
of the Philippines, that's why I wanted to ask you was, is there anything like Halloween where if up?
we do have a thing that we do, but it's known as the Day of the Dead.
Right, I think, but say I know you've said something about this before, but I wanted to see. Yeah, definitely wanted to hear
Yeah,
about any
so it takes
traditions with
place
that.
on November 1st, and it is called the Day of the Dead. I don't know. I've always known it as the Day of the Dead growing up in the Philippines. I actually like I can't remember the Tagalog word for it. Nope, I'm looking for it's pulling the Mexican roots instead of the Filipino Day of the Dead,
Mm,
but I can't remember what it's called. But what we would specifically do, and this is why I mentioned like when you were showing the graveyards, and I'm like, what people specifically do is they would travel over to a family's home, usually the grandparents' home, the people that are there. So families would go and travel and visit with each other. And so what happens is like from all over the Philippines or wherever, they would go to this one specific location. It's usually the location that's right next to the family grave site, and so what they would do is they would all meet up and then they would gather together and go to their family grave site, and they would spend a few days at their family's grave area, and they would just
right.
sit there, tell stories. And then I remember I would sit there and like just hang out, and I remember that I would always get some rice and some fried chicken, and they would eat together and basically remember their families fondly and eat together. So it was something that we celebrated a lot, but you know, when I came to the United States, I was exposed to Halloween and was absolutely obsessed with Halloween. But yeah, in the Philippines, it's called Day of the Dead, also known as All Souls Day.
Yeah, I was
Um,
hoping, not hoping. God, my brain. I was thinking that that's what, because I feel like you've talked about this before, but I was curious, like how much of a culture shock, I guess, or like how different it was for you, because I don't remember exactly when you said you came over. Like, did you go trick or treating when you came over to the U.S. at all, or did you? What did you
I
think about the U.S.
first
Halloween?
my first experience ever trick or treating, I came to the United States and I was homeschooled, and I was in fifth grade was my first exposure to Halloween. I was in fifth grade, and I had no idea what it is, and my stepdad actually like helped me um come up with a costume. And so he took me to the thrift store and we bought like this white nightgown, like old nightgowns, you know what I'm talking about, the old.
Yeah,
So we got this white nightgown that was kind of like like lacy, and then he like taught like he bought fairy wings. And one of our projects that we did for like our art projects for my homeschooling is that we would add feathers to like we would put a like he taught me how to put a frame on the fairy ring, like on the fairy wings. He taught me how to build a frame for it, and then we covered it in feathers. So my very first Halloween, I dressed up as an angel, and went trick or treating, but it wasn't like regular trick or treating. I was taken to like a church parking lot,
Like trunk or
and
treat.
then yeah, that I
Yeah.
was taken to a church parking lot, and I would go and to the Bounds house, and then I would go from one booth to another and get
Right.
candy. And then that same night he decided, okay, let's give you like a real experience of what trick or treating is. And he took me to like one of the richest neighborhoods ever.
Oh, that's how you do it. Yeah, that's the
He
right
took me
way.
to like to the rich neighborhood, which is like not too far from the church we went to. And like he's like, okay, so what you do is you knock on the door and you say trick or treat, and then they'll give you candy or something like that. So he took me around this rich neighborhood, and I went trick or treating for the first time. So I was in 5th grade when this happened, and then I moved back to the Philippines for 6th grade and didn't come back to the United States until junior high.
Oh,
And in
interesting. Okay.
junior high, um, in 7th grade, I dressed up as Genie, like as a genie,
I love
and
that.
that was my second costume, was a genie. But yeah, that is when my obsession with it. That's when I like was That's also when I was also exposed to Hocus Pocus, and I was
Right.
immediately obsessed with Hocus Pocus, which then launched my obsession with all like the campy, cute Halloween movies like
Right.
Halloween Town.
Down. Yep.
Yeah, so definitely that's where it started for me. But yeah, that was definitely, yeah. So for us, we don't have a Halloween, we have a Day of the Dead, which is very similar to the Mexican tradition, but it's usually a family holiday, and that's usually when you visit your family's graveyard, remember them fondly, eat
Right.
there, stay all day there, all day stay there, and
Which again,
you
I
know,
love that. I think that's really it's a really sweet way to honor dead and the loved ones. Like I find it very the way the U.S. handles stuff like that is very different. Only like there's always like celebrations of life and stuff. I know some people do them yearly. Some people do them when the person passes, but we don't really have that same um like holiday esque type of thing, which I think would be really honestly. I think that's pretty cool. What
yeah.
was the first candy that you were like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy good? What the hell?
Um, my stepdad thought I would really, really like Reese's, and I actually
Classic.
hated it. I don't know mga
Is it the
yumaw.
chocolate?
Thank you, Kate. Um, I didn't like the peanut butter and chocolate ratio. I felt like it was too much peanut butter and not enough chocolate for
Chocolate.
me. And so I didn't really like it, but I did really enjoy Snickers bars. I really like Snickers bars. In the Philippines, we have curly tops is one of the chocolates that I would eat in the Philippines, curly tops and stuff like that. And the chocolate that I would get as a treat, my mom would send us Toblerone bars. And that was like my
Oh
special
yeah.
treat. Yeah. And so that was one of my favorite candies. So when I came to the United States and I was able to buy it at the grocery store, I bought it way too much, way too often because it was a treat. But that was one of my favorites. But then Snickers became one of those that were easier to get, that were nice and delicious. I really love Snickers bars. And
Snicker
then
bars are
I
solid.
really loved Crunch bars. I loved Crunch
Hmm.
bars. I like the Rice Krispies inside the Crunch bars.
Yeah.
And now my go-to chocolates when I'm like depressed or feeling like, my time of month is Ferrero Rochers. That's like my
Ugh,
favorite
Ferrero
chocolate
Rochers
now.
are delightful.
Mhm. So
I'm
good.
obsessed with the Lint chocolate truffle balls.
Ooh, yes,
Oh,
the
they're
white
so
chocolate one's
good.
really good for
I
that
like
one.
dark chocolate a lot. I get the like 90 and 70 proof chocolate dark chocolate ones, and I really love the cookie. Anything cookies and cream, I will fuck up. They hate to see me coming more than candy corn. Words escaped me for a second. They ran away. So let's see. Let's catch up with chat real quick before we continue. Mark
Mhm.
said Halloween in China is an example. It's completely different. It's more for adults dressing up in sleigh outfits. I can get behind that all
I mean, that's kind of
day.
how it is in America.
What?
That's
What?
kind of how it is in America. I mean, like,
I love that.
I hate to say it, but Mean Girls, where she shows up to the Halloween party dressed up as like a scary bride,
I
and
love that it can be both though. You
and
know what I mean?
Karen's all like, "Why are you dressed so scary?"
Scary. I like to combine. I think people that combine sexy and scary are funny. I really like those. I like both the spectrums. I love the spooky, crazy bitch stuff. I love the sexy, crazy bitch stuff. You put them together, and it's just beautiful. I
Oh
love
my
taking
goodness.
horror icons and make them into horror icons. Huh?
Pink ghost
Huh?
face, sexy pink ghost face.
The Bejeweled
Um,
one's pretty good.
the other one that I'm seeing, the pyramid head, where it's like these really
Yes.
busty babes wearing a pink, like gorgeous dress that's just hugging their figure,
If
and
you've
they've
been
got
watching,
giant pyramid head that they're walking around with a giant sword.
yeah,
Oh,
Daddy, but say, oh my God, it's literally one that says Daddy too. So if you've been watching me play Silent Hill 2 remake, you know that I call Pyramid Head Daddy. And I'm like, ooh, is there daddy? Daddy's coming. Oh, he is such a daddy.
It's very confusing being over here and hearing that.
Yeah, because everyone, his nickname is Daddy and a bunch of other stuff. So he's like, huh? Oh, sassy boy.
Sass.
The parents. So, and Kate says, I just saw it. I missed it. So Kate said, Dakabara, is it? Oh no, I'm not pronouncing that. You better just scroll and read it
Araw
yourself.
ng mga yumay. Yeah, I read.
There you go.
Yeah,
Ah,
araw ng
yeah,
mga yumay.
that's not how I was gonna say it. So it's a good, it's a good thing you did it.
Oh my God,
It would have been very not right. Oh my God, there's so many things I'm denied because of a minor nut allergy. Oh no, I'm not at
Yeah.
risk of
that's terrible. Dude.
death, but the hours of painful sickness is not fun. That doesn't sound fun. I'm so
Miso
sorry.
can't have sugar. Miso can't have sugar.
Well, I can have it. I just gotta not have it. I don't want to give myself diabetes, but
Little bit.
a little bit. As a matter of
Little
fact,
bit.
I've been eating for like weeks this bag of nerd gummy clusters. This is my current candy obsession. I fucking love these things so much. The texture is delightful.
I only get those when I go to the theater now because I can kill a bag. So I treat them as a theater treat only now.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh, Cadbury chocolate. That is the UK based chocolate more than Nestle. I want to say or Hershey's. Pretty sure the Cadbury is the UK heavy chocolate brand, which is supposed to be a better tasting chocolate than US. And I'm curious if that's true. Very curious. Oh, another little ghoulish bite here.
Mm-hmm.
What was everybody's favorite horror movie of this year?
Oh, what's the fucking one that just came to Hulu that we watched on?
Are you gonna steal the one I was gonna say? It's the interview or Late Night with the Devil. Sorry,
Yeah,
Late Night with the
Late Night
Devil.
with the Devil.
I haven't watched any of the new ones that were released this year.
Ooh, oh.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the
Okay,
ones that were
so
released this
let's
year.
say the 2020s.
Oh fuck. Well, you know that I'm a fan of Trick or Treat, which is one of the fairly newer
Mhm.
Halloween movies. Trick or Treat's one of my favorites. Halloween Tales is another one that I really, really like. But for scary, oh my god.
Oh, hold on. I have a better question. What is one Halloween movie that you would recommend someone watch every year?
Scooby Doo, live action.
Oh, we actually just did that too.
Every year, and I do it more than during Halloween time. But yeah, of course, Scooby Doo live action, best. I mean, it's got Buffy in it. Come on, how it's got Buffy in it. But yes,
More picture show.
I say, Bulger, you wanna explain Rocky Horror, what it means to us?
In what aspect?
Well,
why is it
okay,
important to you guys?
I'll do it. So, Rocky Horror Picture Show is, as you guys, a lot of people probably know, it's specifically the one with Tim Curry. Because obviously it's not Broadway. What do you want to call it? Stage play, a lot too. But Rocky Horror Picture Show is something that the 17 years we've been together, we've probably watched every single year for Halloween since we've been together. The 17 years. I had never seen it before I got with Volger. He introduced it to me, and we've been obsessed ever since. We're actually hoping at one point where he can dress as Frankenfurter, and I would be oh gosh, I always forget her name. Liberty, I believe it's Liberty. She's the one with like the golden hat and the red hair. I love her. Uh, but we watch it every single year, and it means a lot to us. It's something we go and
I want to hopefully next year get the Dr. Frankenfurter outfit for work because people bitch that I dress as Jesus every year. So I'm gonna dress this year again so everybody bitches about it. And then next year I'm gonna come in with the Dr. Frankenfurter outfit and be like, now see, the Jesus outfit is a lot better.
yeah, he wants to get the corseted Frankenfurter. And Docu, I have to
Talking
sue.
when he's coming down with sweet
Yeah,
transvestite.
yeah.
Ooh.
I say, and then we actually added a movie since he already said Rocky Horror. One that I would suggest is Little Shop of Horror. Every year, every single year,
That's a good
with
one.
oh my gosh, Rick from oh god, there's two different ones. I'm pretty sure the one from the 80s
Oh yeah,
is the one I'm suggesting.
the newest.
The new. Well, I
of
actually don't know if
options.
that's true. I don't know if they made remakes after that. I don't care.
I said of the two.
Oh, I
The
was gonna say.
newest
Well,
of
I don't know if
those
they made.
two options.
Oh, but I don't know if they made any in the later years after the one with Rick. Pretty sure his name's Rick. He's the guy from Ghostbusters that turns into Gatekeeper. I'm pretty sure the Keymaster. The Keymaster. But we love that. So every year we do a triple feature. We do Rocky Horror Picture Show, Little Shop of Horror, and Repo the Genetic Opera. We watch
Repo
all
the
three.
Genetic Opera is so.
Oh,
Oh my god, I love Repo the Genetic Opera.
we love it here.
That's our trilogy.
So that's our yearly trilogy. Well, one of them, but the other ones are not Halloween related, so we'll save those for a later time. But yeah, does anyone have any other ghoulish bites?
Well, you just mentioned Little Shop of Horrors, and I'm trying to remember the name of this thing that I think you could only find it in YouTube, or I found it through YouTube, but it's got Neil Patrick Harris, and you've got the dentist. He plays a dentist who's like a masochist, and then
Oh yeah, like Steve Martin in the little shop.
and I cannot remember. Is that Little Shop of Horrors? Is that it?
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that. Yeah, Steve Martin plays him originally in Little Shop of Horrors, and he's a masochistic dentist. Yeah, and Bill Murray comes in, and he's a sadist.
Yep.
And he loves it. Yeah.
Sassy Squatch says that he demands to be a part of watching the trilogy with you.
We actually were thinking about after the event and everything, we were gonna see if people want to watch it probably Halloween weekend, so November 1st or whatever it falls on in the Black Collar. We were actually gonna because we were like, might as well stream it, buddy.
That sounds like
Black
fun.
Collar.
Oh yeah.
Especially because I know Sassy wanted to see him too, but yeah, I fucking love him. Oh, sorry, let's catch up on chat here. Garg said diabetes. Oh, hold on. I missed something. I missed things.
We were talking about candy corn and
Oh,
sugary.
here we go.
My
He said, yeah, oh, go ahead.
My ex actually beat diabetes. 100% credit goes to moving into a vegan diet and consuming dark chocolate. The diabetes was reversed in under 6 months, and it took 3 months for your sugar levels to be changed, as this is the period it takes for your red blood cells to be renewed.
Which is why they do A1C.
Gotcha. And then Garg also said that they have reason for hating Christmas, but every year I watch Miracle on 34th Street, as this was the movie I watched every year with my sisters. Much love much love. If we were still in touch, or I think that's what that meant. I can't remember. But yes, spelling is important to that one, ladies and gentlemen. And then we've got Discord watch party, says Garg, and Sassy says, I'm watching them with you, you batch.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do them in a watch party in the Black Collar this year. So,
Yeah.
and
That sounds
we
like
were
fun.
we already had plans to watch something with Sassy for Halloween wise. So might as well, right? Have a little spooky watch party because I don't go out and party anymore for Halloween. We don't get trick or treaters, which really sucks because I really wanted trick or treaters here. We don't get any. We don't get a single one. The first year we lived here, we were so excited because we were out of an apartment, we're in a house, and we're on this little dead end street. I'm like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna go get a bunch of top tier candy, full candy bars. I'm gonna dress up. We're gonna sit outside. We get everything. We get ready. We sit outside, and our neighbors are like, oh.
You don't
Yeah,
get
we don't get trick or
trick-or-treaters
treaters out here.
here.
Not a single one in the last almost 8 years we've lived here. Not a
I'm so
fucking single
sorry.
soul.
That makes me sad.
I'm like, oh.
It's devastating.
We
I
had
mean,
so
I
much
get it,
delightful candy to eat.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't come down this way either.
All
Oh.
right. We got 15 minutes. Do you think
Yes,
we
we
can
do.
our tier tree?
Oh, we can at least do some of it.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's do it. How are we gonna do this? Are you gonna share your screen with us? How are we
I
doing
have
this?
this little setup real quick.
Yeah.
And yes, I will share it in the Discord.
Whoop, whoop.
Pull it up.
Hell yeah! Here we go, you guys. We're gonna rate candies.
There we go. And then I will share this screen with you, beautiful. Where am I? There it is. There you go. It's in the Discord now. All right, chat. Let me get you guys back up here so I can see with my fucking eyes. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. We are professionals.
This is a professional environment.
Oh,
okay?
do you want to do our outro real quick before we do this?
Oh yeah. So Vulgar, your line is and. So I'm gonna say will stay thick, and then you're gonna say and.
I'll say-
Miso then will say
We'll stay
and
you stay spooky.
and you stay spooky. We'll stay
Spooky.
thick and you say spooky. So I'll say we'll
I
stay
fuck
thick,
it up.
and then Vulgar has to say and then Miso has to say.
You stay
and
spooky.
You stay spooky. All right, are we ready? Okay, we're gonna do our outro real quickly before we do
Do
this.
this.
We'll stay thick.
And
You stay spooky.